We'll just come into a child's pose. We'll just start to slow the breath down. Let the center of the forehead rest. See if you can imagine inhaling right there through the center of your forehead, filling all that space behind your heart. And on the exhale, soften, melting through the heart. Maybe engage your hands for a second, just like down dog, and press through the hands to press the sit bones back towards the heels. Even if they're already touching the heels, just feel that motion of finding a little more length in the spine. And then soften, relax. As always, using the breath as a tool to get out of the head and into the body. Today, we're going to focus on cultivating some gratitude. So see if you can find that little bit of gratitude, just that you get to take this next breath. You get to be here in this body. We'll see if we can cultivate that gratitude for yoga itself, for this practice. Sometimes we do the hard part and we get ourselves there, we show up. But then just like we can look at a lot of things as this obstacle, like, oh, I got to get through this. I got to get done with this. Instead, let's really savor each pose and find this gratitude for this ancient sacred wisdom that's been passed down by the sages. And let's see if we can not miss one opportunity with each breath to cultivate that feeling of gratitude. That not taking for granted that we'll be able to practice next week or even tomorrow. That this is it. This isn't just the dress rehearsal, this is life. And it doesn't begin tomorrow or Monday. It's right here in this breath that we can choose to feel that gratitude. When you're ready, we'll come up to the hands and the knees. We'll do a few rounds of cat-cow on the inhale, dropping the belly, shining the heart forward. Even if you feel a little twinge of something in the body, see if you can cultivate gratitude just for the awareness of it. The ability to spot this tension. And then use your breath to soften and release that tension. Try to visualize the ocean and imagine making this wave-like motion with your spine as you cultivate a little gratitude for the ocean, for water. After you empty all the air, come back to center, finding that neutral spine and then lengthening just a bit. Reach back through the right heel, keep the toes grounded and find a nice calf stretch. Keeping everything in alignment. Use your inhale to lengthen and your exhale to release. Next inhale, lift the right foot up, keep the toes pointed down, reach the left hand forward, find all the length. Exhale, knee to nose. Try to touch your knee to something here, your forehead or your nose. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Maybe still feeling this wave-like motion in the spine, this really fluid movement. Maybe you grab the back of the head and pull your head in a little closer to that knee. One more inhale to lengthen. Keep your foot lifted, plant your hand down, curl the left toes, come up like three-legged dog. Shake the head a little bit. Sink into the heel just a little bit, and then come back up onto the toes and lower the right foot, downward facing dog. Press into your fingers and knuckles, creating some space by drawing the traps gently out of the shoulders. Not like engaging them to pull them back, but softening them to create space there. Moving around a little if you need to, but keeping your gaze fixed and soft. Finding some gratitude for downward facing dog. I don't know if you've ever just held this pose for lengths of time, but I swear if you're having some funk, just holding down dog for 5 or even 10 minutes, you kind of burn through all that junk, and it's pretty amazing. I love downward facing dog. All right, inhale, ripple forward into plank. Press through the hands to lift that space between the shoulders. Find your breath. Lower the knees and then the chest and then the chin. And then press into the tops of the feet to peel the heart up. Soften the shoulders, lower back down. Again, press into the feet, lift the heart. We're not using the hands. Maybe using the hands a little to pull the heart forward as we draw the elbows in and back. And then soften, shoulders, neck, eyes, and lower back down. One more time, we'll inhale and come up, maybe a little further this time. Maybe we do use the hands a little bit. Soften, and then start to come down. Come back up to your hands and your knees. Get your nice tabletop. Find length in your spine, gratitude in your heart, and reach back through the left heel. Keep the toes grounded, shine the heart forward. So we always have this idea that we're like, when this happens, I'll do this, right? But it's like, why wait? Why wait till the next breath to find the gratitude? We might not get that next breath. So it's about this breath, yeah? This moment. Lift that heel up, keep the toes pointing down, reach the right hand forward, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose, maybe grabbing the back of the head to pull the chin in towards the chest. Maybe finding that really fluid movement like water. One more time. Keep the leg lifted. Plant the arm down, curl the toes, lift up like three-legged dog. Sink into the heel just a little bit, and then come back up on the toes. And lower that foot, downward facing dog. The back of the neck is long and soft. Or you can have the chin slightly tucked and have a little bit of engagement there. But softening through the traps and the jaw. Maybe finding a little more space to drop the heels into as you soften the fronts of the ankles. Slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. Inhale to lift up halfway. And exhale to fold. Bend your knees. Grab your elbows behind your knees and pull your head in towards your feet. You guys be quiet, okay? Please, while I teach. Please. Maybe you bring the forehead in to touch the legs and soften the traps out of the ears, creating some space. Maybe you draw the belly in and up out of the way and start to straighten into the legs a little bit. Pressing down into the feet and imagine you're spreading the feet apart. Release your grip, keep your chin tucked, keep your arms and head heavy. Inhale, press into the feet, exhale, slowly round up. Lift the heart, roll the shoulders down the back. Inhale, arms up overhead. Squeeze the palms together, lift everything a little higher. Exhale, swan dive, lengthen forward. Empty all the air. Inhale, lift up halfway, hold on to it. Walk the hands forward into plank. Find your strength. Find your stillness. Find your gratitude for this strength in your body. Rock forward onto the toes and lower down to the knees. And then the chest. And then the chin. Untuck the toes. Now walk your hands just outside of the mat and forward a couple inches or maybe a hand's length. Stay up on the fingertips. Let the center of your forehead come to rest. Let your head stay heavy as you press into the feet and slowly lift up. Your head is just hanging like dead weight till you get all the way up. And then slowly lift the chin up. Soften the glutes. Soften the shoulders. Slowly lower back down. We'll do that 3 more times with your own breath. Take your time. Rooting to the feet. Slowly lower back down, press it back through child's pose, and lift it up to downward facing dog. Slowly lower down to the knees, and sit back on the heels. And then we're gonna lift the knees up, opening the ankles here, the tops of the feet, really. So we try not to lean back a whole lot. If you want, you can bring your hands to your heart, but if it helps you lift the knees higher, keep those hands grounded. If they don't quite lift up off the ground, that's okay, just keep trying. You're getting the same stretch there. Maybe leaning back for the last breath helps you lift the knees a little bit higher. And slowly release. Bring the hands down, lift it back up, downward facing dog. Let the head become heavy right away and the neck soft or slightly engaged as you find that tiny tuck. Inhale through the nose, high on the tippy toes. Open mouth, exhale, sink into your heels. Inhale, lift the right foot up high, come up on the toes. Exhale, sink into the heel. Slowly walk your hands back to meet the foot. Drop your head into standing splits. Let the leg go a little higher. Find the balance between the legs as the left foot presses down and the right foot presses up. Find the balance between the hips as the left hip lifts up and the right hip lowers down. Find that heaviness and softness in the neck or the slight engagement of that tiny tuck, softening the traps away from the ears. Slowly come to standing, bring the right knee with you, come all the way up. So all week I've had a really hard time balancing. Cross the right knee over the left. And then I heard there's been all kinds of seismic activity. So I'm gonna go ahead and blame that. Oh, today's a little better actually. Bring the arms out to the sides. Sweep the right arm onto the left. It was really odd. Like I'll always have days like that here and there, but never like 4 days in a row. Soften into that standing ankle, standing knee. Draw the elbows out and up. Soften the shoulders down the back. Find that gratitude here. Even for that little wobble. Slowly come back up, lift the knee high, sweep the arms up high, cartwheel the hands down, shoot the leg up like standing splits. Walk the hands forward like three-legged dog, come up on the toes. Exhale, sink into the heel. Inhale up on the toes, exhale, knee to nose, step it through like crescent lunge. Arms reach up out of the waist. Press the right knee forward, set it up. Slowly lower the left knee almost all the way down to touch the mat. And then inhale, come back up. Maybe the right leg starts to straighten. Exhale, bend that right knee as the left knee almost touches the mat or kisses the mat gently. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lower all the way down, untuck those toes and reach up out of the waist a little more. Float the right fingertips down towards the ground and lengthen through the left side. Soften through the shoulders, the traps. Keep drawing that right hip back to sink into that left hip a little more. But try to feel this stretch equally in that left hip flexor and through the whole left side of the body, and feel the interconnectedness of that tension or those muscles. Slowly reach both arms up, lower the hands down, step the left foot forward and sit in the chair. Dropping weight into the heels, reaching up out of the waist. Pull the belly in. See if you can put that gratitude just on a repeat mantra. With every inhale, imagine inhaling this gratitude and exhaling this gratitude. Press into the feet, stand up, find a little backward bend. Exhale, hands to heart. And hands down by your sides. Inhale, arms up. Squeeze the palms and lift. Press into the feet. Exhale, lengthen forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Take one more sip, hold on to it. Exhale, chaturanga. Or just meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale up high on the tippy toes. Open mouth, exhale, sink into the heels. Inhale, lift the left foot up high, come up on the toes. Exhale, sink into the heel, walk the hands back to standing splits. Let the head drop, let the leg lift. Find that balance between the legs, between the hips. That softness through the head and the neck and the traps. That balance between the inhale and the exhale. And that gratitude for whatever it is you're feeling. Press into the right foot, slowly come up, bring the left knee with you. Hug it in and up nice and tight, and then cross it over. Sink in. Steady and soften the gaze. Sweep the arms out to the sides, and sweep the left arm under the right. Slowly come up, lift the knee up, sweep the arms up, cartwheel the hands down, shoot the leg high, standing splits, head is heavy. Walk the hands forward like three-legged dog, come up on the toes. Exhale, sink into the heel. Inhale up on the toes, exhale, knee to nose, step it through, crescent lunge. Keep the heart lifted as you slowly dip the right knee almost all the way down or maybe touching the mat. Inhale, come back up. Take your time, keep your hips in alignment. Keep that lift in your heart and that softness through your shoulders and face. And slowly lower all the way down, untuck the toes and sink in, reach up. And then float the left fingertips down to the ground. And find that connectedness of that whole right side and that right hip flexor. Use your breath to soften. Sweep both arms up, lower the hands down, step the right foot forward, sit back in the chair. All right, lower the booty just a little bit more, drop into the chair a little deeper, bring the hands to the heart. And turn and twist to the right, hooking the elbow outside the knee. Try to keep the knees in line by keeping the hips in line. Pull the belly in, drop the booty. Now use some leverage to twist the spine open. Soften where you can. Slowly start to curl that left heel up towards the glute. In slow motion, step it back to crescent lunge with a twist. Press the right knee forward for balance. Draw the left heel back and then twist your spine open. Slowly come up to standing into crescent lunge and press the right knee forward more as you draw the right hip back. Feel the heart lifting as the shoulders melt. Feel the gratitude in this breath. Slowly spin the left heel out and down like warrior two. Press the right knee forward. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, cartwheel hands to mat, chaturanga. Or just meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, up high on the tippy toes. Open mouth, exhale, sink into the heels. Do that one more time. Hold on to it. Shift your gaze up between your hands, bend your knees and walk or hop to the top. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Grab onto the big toes with the peace sign fingers. Inhale, half lift again, find all the length. Exhale, pull the head down towards the feet, soften the traps away from the ears and fold. One more inhale to lengthen. One more exhale to soften. Release your grip. Come up any way you like, pressing into the feet, maybe finding a little deeper backward bend at the top. Exhale, hands to heart. And hands down by your sides. You can keep your feet hip width distance or step your feet together. Keep your knees stacked over the ankles, lower the booty back behind enough to sweep the floor, reach the arms forward and up, and sink in. Bring the hands to the heart, turn and twist to the left. Drop a little weight into the heels, twist the spine open. Slowly curl the right heel in towards the glute. Slow motion, step it back, crescent lunge with a twist. Press the left knee forward for balance and twist the heart towards the thumbs. Inhale, lengthen to the spine, the back of the neck, chin slightly tucked. Exhale, softness through the face, the shoulders. Slowly come up, crescent lunge. Press the left knee forward, draw the right heel back for balance, and then sink in a little more. And then open it up like warrior two. Press the left knee forward, inhale, reverse it. Exhale, cartwheel hands to match, chaturanga. Inhale through the nose, high on the tippy toes. Open up, exhale, sink into the heels. One more time. Inhale, right foot lifts up, come up on the toes. Exhale, sink into the heel. Walk the hands back like standing splits. Let the head drop and the leg lift. Grab the back of the calf or the ankle to pull yourself into that fold a little more. Now, point the toes open out to the side, to the long edge of the mat, to the right, yeah? Opening the hips, stacking the hips here. Push back through the heel and feel that lower right side of the body firing up here as you roll that right hip back a little more and peel that right hand up to stack the shoulders. See if you can grow a little taller from your heel to your crown and roll that right hip and right shoulder back to open the heart. Softening on the exhale, lower the hand down, let the head drop and the legs shoot high like standing splits again. Slowly walk the hands forward like three-legged dog, stay up on the toes, and then exhale, sink into the heel. Inhale up on the toes, exhale, knee to nose, step it through like warrior one. Press the right knee forward, press down through the feet. Find balance here as you press the hands together and soften the shoulders down. Find balance here as you make that inhale and that exhale match. Keep your heart lifted, interlace your fingers back behind you, maybe the palms glue. Draw the hands down, roll the heart open, find a little backward bend. Keep pressing the right knee forward as you hinge forward, drop the head inside the knee, reaching the arms up and overhead. See what you can soften around the head and the neck, the face. See if you can still press into the feet evenly and still be pressing that right knee forward. Lower the hands down, walk your hands over to the left, coming to a wide leg forward fold. Turn the toes in just a little bit. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Walk the hands back between the legs, fingers pointing back away from you. Maybe taking a little wider step as you try to pull your head down towards the mat. So sometimes when you're in an uncomfortable position or like upside down, You think like, oh, I'll get back to that deep breath when we get back up, right? Even without knowing you're doing it, we're always kind of waiting for the moment when we're really going to be present or embodied. Well, let's let it be this moment. Breathe a little bit deeper. Like your next breath is not guaranteed. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Put a little bend in the knees and slowly roll up. Inhale, arms up overhead. Spread your arms out wide. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Now slowly turn your toes out to the sides and move around a little bit here, trying to tuck the knees into moving back right over the ankles to open the hips. Maybe finding some fluid movement here, some little like figure 8 movement here with the booty. And then start to settle in, really pressing those knees straight out over the second toes. Bring the arms up like a cactus, like goddess pose. Spiral the pinkies in towards the face, lift the heart, soften the shoulders down. Draw the elbows and knees back just a little bit more and open the heart. Roll up onto the tippy toes. Keep pressing the knees forward. Keep using your exhale to soften. Lower the heels down. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then spin to face the top of the mat into Crescent Lunge. Cartwheel the hands down, shoot the left foot high like standing splits. And then set the left foot down to meet the right. Sit back in the chair. Pull the belly in and make it all about this breath. Imagine this is your last chance to soften. Not holding anything back. Press into the feet, stand up, find a little backward bend at the top. Exhale, hands to heart. And hands down by your sides. Press into the feet. Feel the breath moving your body as you inhale, reach up, fill up. As you exhale, lengthen forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left foot up high, come up on the toes. Exhale, sink into the heel. Slowly walk the hands back, standing splits, head drops as the leg lifts. Find that balance. Remember to soften on the exhale. Remember to find that gratitude. And then turn the toes open, left leg parallel to the ground, root back through the heel and fire up that lower left back as you roll the left hip back. Peel the left arm up like you're drawing a bow to stack the shoulders. Lengthen. And then soften and then roll open, drawing that left shoulder and left hip back. Lower the left hand, let the head drop, let the leg shoot up one more time and slowly walk the hands forward like three-legged dog. Stay up on the toes. Exhale, sink into the heel. Inhale up on the toes. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it through like warrior one. Press the left knee forward. Reach up out of the waist. Find your strength. Find your stillness. Find your gratitude. Find that balance between both the feet, pressing down evenly. Between both the hips, trying to face forward. Keep the heart lifted, interlace the fingers, maybe palms glued. Keep pressing the left knee forward as you find a little backward bend. And then hinge forward. Dropping the head inside the knee, pressing the knee forward, head is heavy, softening through the neck, the eyes, letting go here. Release the hands, walk them over to the right, to that wide leg forward fold, maybe taking a little wider stance. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Walk your hands forward into a wide leg downward facing dog. Let your head drop. Now imagine melting your heart down towards the center of the mat. See where you can create space here and soften on the exhale. Maybe coming up on the toes and then sinking back into the heels, maybe even lifting the toes up. Maybe for the last couple breaths, you want to lower the elbows down to the ground like a wide-legged dolphin. Head stays heavy, neck stays soft. Slowly press it back up and walk the hands back under the shoulders. Little bend in the knees, hands to the hips, slowly come up. Turn the toes out, bend into the knees. Maybe the thighs get parallel to the ground. And bring the hands onto the knees with your thumbs on the inside, pointed down, and push the knees open a little bit. Now drop a little weight into the hands to shine the heart forward and roll the shoulders back. Lengthen through the back of the neck, soften through the face and shoulders. Drop the right shoulder towards the left foot. See what you can soften. See if you can draw both those knees back just a little bit more. And twist just a little bit more for this last breath. Slowly come back to center. Balance it out. Press down into the feet. Soften where you can, and then drop the left shoulder towards the right foot. Slowly come back to center. Press into the feet. Reach the arms up. Keep the arms spread, the fingers spread. Bring the hands to the hips. Turn all the toes to face the top of the mat. Crescent lunge. Sink in here. Cartwheel the hands down. Shoot the right foot high like standing splits. And set the right foot down to meet the left and sit back in the chair. Press into the feet, stand up, find a little backward bend. Exhale, hands to heart. And hands down by your sides. Spread your feet as wide as the mat, or as wide as your hips. Reach your arms forward so they're parallel to the ground. Squeeze the fingers together. See if you can grow a little taller and a little softer. And then without moving the knees, lower the booty back behind. So that way the knees stay stacked right over the ankles. They don't shoot out in front. So we're trying to get the thighs parallel to the ground. Look down to see if you have the same distance between your hands, your knees, and your feet, and adjust if you need to. See if you can get those thighs parallel to the ground, and then look forward so your chin is parallel to the ground. Soften through the eyes. The traps. Keep your gaze steady and soft. Find gratitude here, even for whatever sensation you're feeling. See if you can start to associate even discomfort with gratitude, for having the awareness to see what's going on here. Press into the feet, stand up. Roll up onto the tippy toes. Keep that same distance between your hands, your knees, and your feet. Lower the booty back behind you until the thighs are parallel to the ground. Look down to check in if you need to. Come up a little higher on the toes, look forward. Lengthen the back of the neck. See what you can soften here. Soften the shoulders. Soften the jaw. Slowly stand up. Lower the heels down, squeeze the knees together. Lengthen through the crown and slowly lower down till your hips are just a couple inches away from your heels. Keep squeezing the knees together. Once your hips are just a couple inches away from your heels, roll your knees forward and down so the thighs and arms are parallel to the ground. Make it all about this breath. If you feel okay here, you can start to bounce. And then way slower than you want to, start to come back up. Step your feet together, bring your hands down by your sides. Close your eyes. Inhale gratitude. Exhale gratitude. Inhale, hug the right knee in and up. Peel the right hand back, let the gaze follow. Find a little twist, a little softening on the exhale. Slowly step it back to Crescent Lunge. Press the left knee forward, open it up to Warrior Two, and sink in. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Then we'll come right into extended side angle. Bringing the left elbow onto the left knee, reach the right arm up and over. So take this anywhere you want. Bend the left knee more. Maybe you're guiding the left knee open with the left elbow, rolling the heart up towards the sky and just finding more length through the whole right side. Maybe you're reaching around for a bind here. If you have that bind, slowly release it. Lower your hands down to frame the foot. Come up on the back toes. Shoot the right foot all the way up to standing splits. And hop it back, chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. So let's lower down to a child's pose. If you'd rather stay in down dog, that's fine too. So I don't know if you guys feel the same, but the older I get, the more I realize all these cliche truths are cliches for a reason. And instead of thinking they're cheesy, I'm like, oh, that's gold. You know, even just the gratitude, even just the idea that there's always the silver lining. It's not just like a to make you feel better idea that, oh, something good will probably come of this, you'll be okay. It's like, no, like ultimately, if you have faith that the universe is conspiring in your favor, then when the thing looks like it didn't happen your way, you know that it's just the universe trying to bring you something even better. It's trying to align, to bring you something that maybe you didn't even realize you wanted or was possible. And when we stay in that place, everything just feels better. So even if you don't truly believe that every cloud has a silver lining, see if you can just really tap into that space of knowing that no matter what seems to be coming your way, having faith that it is unfolding just as it should, and having gratitude for the process, even if you're not in the funnest portion of that cycle currently. When you're ready, come back up to downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, come up high on the tippy toes. Open mouth, exhale, sink into the heels. We'll do that one more time. Shift your gaze up between your hands, bend your knees, and walk or hop to the top. Inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, press into the feet, find a backward bend, make it big. Exhale, hands to heart, and hands down by your sides. Hug the left knee in and up as you root down into the right foot more. Peel the left hand back, let the gaze follow, find that little twist, and then soften. Step back, crescent lunge. Press the right knee forward, open it up, warrior two. Press the right knee forward more, inhale, reverse it, and find extended side angle. Take it wherever you like, but find that balance between both feet, pressing down evenly. Remembering to soften on the exhale, maybe finding that bind, but continue pressing the right knee straight out over the second toe. And if you're finding the bind, keep rolling that left shoulder back to open the heart. Let your head be heavy, your neck is soft. If you have a bind, slowly release it. Bring the hands down to frame that right foot. Shoot the left foot all the way up like standing splits. And hop it back like chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, up high on the toes. Open mouth, exhale, sink into the heels. Okay, step your right foot in halfway between your left foot and your hand. Stay up on the ball of the foot. Press into the fingers and knuckles a lot. And see if you can kick the left foot up to float the right toes off the ground a couple inches. Make this about the strength in your arms and stacking the shoulders over, elbows over wrists. Maybe stacking your hips over your shoulders for a second. And then coming back to down dog and stepping the left foot in, same thing. Kick the right foot up to float the left toes up off the ground a little bit. Slowly come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward into plank. Slowly walk or slide the feet back to lower the forearms down. Lengthen from heels to crown, lift the quads up off the knees, pull the belly in and up. Imagine you're pressing the hands and the forearms forward to shine the heart forward and roll the shoulders back, but at the same time finding softness through the traps. Turn and twist, kiss the mat with the right hip. Inhale back to your center. Exhale, left hip kisses mat. Move with your own breath here. Whenever you've had enough, you can lower down to the belly. Maybe we do just a couple more. Lower down to the belly, untuck the toes. Keep the shoulders stacked over the elbows. Keep using the hands and forearms to pull the heart forward. Soften through the traps and the shoulders. Bring your chin so it's parallel to the ground. Relax the lower body and see what else you can soften here. Really, really slowly we move the head as we turn to gaze over the right shoulder. Keep that slight engagement in your hands and arms, pulling the heart forward. Keep using each exhale to soften as you gaze all the way back to the toe. Maybe even just a little bit further. And breathe into that spot where you feel it the most. And let something go. Slowly gaze back over the front of the mat. Make sure your lower body's still relaxed. Slight engagement in the hands and forearms to pull the heart forward. Soften before you start to slowly gaze over the left shoulder. Keep softening as you gaze all the way back to the toes and beyond. Inhale into that spot. Take all the air, fill all the way up, and then just a little more. And then let some of that tension go. Slowly come back to center. Curl the toes under, lift the hips like forearm plank. Walk the feet in like dolphin, let the booty go up, let the head be heavy. Keep rooting down into the hands and forearms, softening the traps away from the ears. Lift the right foot up high, come up on the toes. Maybe you're working on kicking up. Sink back down into the heel. Lower the right foot down, lift the left foot up, come up on the toes. Exhale, sink into the heel. Lower the left foot down and find a child's pose. With your knees together if you can. Letting the center of the forehead come to rest again. Inhale right there through the center of the forehead. And feel the heart melting. So sometimes I think we think that only like good things deserve gratitude. But I think the practice of gratitude is to start to get us to really appreciate all the parts of the cycle. Just like a plant, you know, it's not really attached to what part of its life cycle it's in. It's just existing. And I think that's kind of what the Buddhists are talking about. I'm not totally sure. I think it's just about finding the same amount of gratitude for the good as the bad. I know it seems like kind of crazy. But I think that's how we reduce the suffering. Is not looking at anything as good or bad. And I think the easiest way to do that is just finding gratitude for all the parts. It's easy to look at something in a cycle and go, this is destructive, like a fire. But then when you look at the whole picture, when you pan out, it's necessary for creation. So sometimes you're looking at something and it seems negative, but when you pan out, that's just the part of the cycle that can look like chaos or destruction. By having that equal gratitude for all parts of it, even if you don't understand what is happening, you're just allowing space for this whole cycle to be what it is without attaching this idea of good or bad to it, which is what creates the suffering. So we're going to come up and turn to this side, and we're going to spread the knees wide like frog pose. We're going to spread the feet just as wide so the shins are parallel to the short edges of the mat, yeah, the top and the bottom. And then we're going to slowly push the hips back towards the heels. If it's too much to have your toes turned out, you can turn them straight back or even in a little bit if you need to. And some people like to come down to their elbows here and they feel like they get a better stretch when they can relax into it. You can try that. At some point, stop pressing your hips back anymore and just allow gravity to help you unravel a little bit more. Maybe as your booty starts to get closer to the ground and it gets pretty intense, maybe then you do turn the toes in or back and let the booty sink down a little more. So having gratitude for the discomfort is really just honoring that the discomfort or the soreness is creating strength. Even if you don't realize that in the moment, just by defaulting to having the gratitude, you're allowing the cycle to be what it is without imposing your judgment onto it. Slowly come back up, move really slowly, and turn to face the top of the mat and come back to that child's pose. And right away, place the center of the forehead down, soften there, and inhale through that space into the back of the heart and take all the air you can, like this might be your last breath. And then exhale, soften and release, feeling some gratitude that you get to take another breath. And slowly come up onto the knees. Bringing the hands onto the hips. So hips are stacked over knees. Bring your hands to your low back. Maybe the fingers can point up. Draw the elbows towards each other behind there a little more. Scoop the hips forward. Lift the heart. Maybe the head drops back. On an inhale, slowly come up. Bring the knees together. Lower the hips to the heels. Maybe find that little fluid motion in the spine, that little wave-like motion just a little bit, or just find stillness here. Breathing into the spine. We'll do 2 more sets of camel. Come back up onto the knees. Stack the hips over them. Bring the hands to the low back. Scoop the hips forward, lift the heart, and drop back. Maybe you start walking the hands down towards the heels. On an inhale, slowly come up, knees together, hips to heels. Finding stillness here or a little bit of that fluid movement through the spine. Come back up for our last set of camel. Set it up, take your time. On an inhale, slowly come back up, bring your knees together. Sit your hips back on your heels. Now we'll just sit the hips off to the left and sweep the arms out, sweep the legs out in front. Kick out through the heels. Press the hands down into the mat by the hips and see if you can lift your booty up off the ground. Maybe even lift your legs up off the ground. Find your breath, find your strength in your arms as you shine the heart forward and roll the shoulders back, but soften where you can so we're not creating tension. Lower the booty down, keep kicking through the heels, keep them lifted off the ground if you can. Inhale the arms up, reach up a little more. Keep that length and that lift in the heart as you hinge forward, grab onto the feet or whatever you can grab. Lift up through the heart, fill all the way up and pull the heart down towards the feet. So you can keep your head up and the back of your neck long, just like your spine, or you can let your head be heavy, but keep the heart reaching forward towards the feet. And remember to soften on each exhale. So the same way we try to find this fluid movement in the body and the spine, try to find this fluid movement with the breath, so that we can find that fluid movement with the mind. And that helps us to allow these cycles to just be what they are without attaching to one side of them and saying, oh, that's the good part. See if you can find that little bit of fluidity by allowing the sensations to be whatever they are without attaching this idea that hurts or that that's tense. Just allowing it to be what it is and honoring that something is going to transpire from it that is beneficial. Slowly come up and bring the right heel up into the center line, lowering the knee down, kick through the left heel, and reach for that left foot. Grabbing whatever you can, lifting through the heart, level the shoulders out, pull the heart down towards the foot. Slowly come back up, straighten the right leg, bring the left heel in. Lower the left knee down, kick out through the heel, reach for the foot. Grab what you can. So it kind of lets us off the hook. Instead of having to understand and analyze everything and go, well, the reason I'm grateful for this soreness or this uncomfortable sensation is because I know that it's going to build strength and flexibility. Instead of having to think about all that, you just have gratitude for all parts of it and allow it to be what it is. And it not only lets us off the hook, but it allows us that space to be childlike and in this beginner's mind instead of needing to know exactly what's going on. Slowly come up, straighten the left leg out, and slowly roll back onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Cross the right knee over the left. Cactus the arms. Shift the hips to the right, lower the knees to the left. Maybe the toes wrap around the calf. Gaze over the right hand. And make it all about this breath. See if you can make it last a little longer and find just a little more gratitude all the way down to the fingers and the toes. And then find gratitude for that softening as you release. Let the shoulders melt. Let those pecs unwind. I've been finding myself in that beginner's mind a lot more lately, in that childlike wonder. But there's a price too. You're not quite as sharp or witty. And I think that's the point, is you're letting go of this needing to be right and look smart. But it's hard because it's like, oh, when I'm thinking and analyzing everything, I always have the funniest thing to say so quick. And it's like, yeah, but like the whole cost benefit analysis, right? It's like, would you rather be right or happy? Usually I choose right. But I've been choosing happy more lately and it feels really good. So I'm just inviting you to do that, to not need to know exactly what's going on, but just having gratitude and faith that it's all working itself out, even when it doesn't seem like it, even when our little human brains can't possibly imagine how this one's going to work out. Still choosing to have gratitude for this process. For the fact that we get to take this next breath. Hug your knees into your chest. Lower the feet down, cactus the arms, left knee over right, hips to the left, knees to the right, maybe toes sneak around. Gaze over the left hand, let your shoulders melt. And like it's the last breath you ever get to take, hold on to it. Not to the point of grasping it, but just really savoring it. Trying not to let your mind start thinking about what you're going to do after this class or with the rest of your day. Just allow yourself to be right here in this place of gratitude for a little while longer. Slowly come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest one last time. And let your legs go long on the mat. Spread your feet as wide as the mat. Let the toes fall open. Bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Give yourself permission to let go. Give yourself permission to let go a little bit deeper. See if there's any part of the body you haven't softened yet. And see if all at the same time you can soften all those little spots all at once without even needing to bring your mind to each individual spot. But just by allowing this gratitude in a little bit deeper, feeling this overall softening, this melting, this letting go. Invite a deep breath in the nose all the way down into the toes. And invite yourself to stay in this place of peace for a little longer today. Even as you start to bring movement back and roll onto your right side, see if you can continue to cultivate this gratitude for whatever part of the cycle we're in, or others are in, or the world is in. Maybe let go of needing to understand where they're coming from or why it seems like they've lost their mind, and just have gratitude and faith that everything is happening exactly as it should. And by sending in our gratitude, that's allowing more space for it than sending in our judgments. When you're ready, slowly come back up to a seat. See if you can inhale this gratitude for this body as you fill it all the way up one more time with this prana. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, draw the hands to the heart. And as the head bows to the heart, Having gratitude for the wisdom of the heart. Lift the thumbs to the space above the eyebrows. Take a moment. Thank yourself for being here. Thank the universe for holding space for you to be here. Thank everybody in your lives, even the ones that are showing up hard to deal with right now, for helping you to grow and to learn and to find this compassion and tolerance. May all beings everywhere be free from pain and suffering. May our thoughts and actions in some way contribute to that. Namaste. Good boy. Good boy. Thank you.